ball well and got decent looks. We said at halftime when we came in, we were shooting, I think, at 31% at that time, and we had plenty of open looks. So we got the looks we wanted a lot. We were short. It felt like, this is preseason for a reason. They didn't have their legs. But overall, it was up and down. There were some times we moved it well. Sometimes we stuck to the ball too much and tried to go a little bit too much one-on-one, and then had some turnovers early. But 14 turnovers for the game, had 8 in the first quarter. We were trying to do a little bit too much, and then I felt like we got better as the game went on, moving the basketball.
Mark Murphy, over here.
Amy, to what you were saying about the turnovers, do you think you guys started out like maybe overpassing? I mean, there seemed to be a lot of that.
Yeah, they were trying to be too unselfish. I had to tell them in the first 2 timeouts to take the shots when they're there. Guys that have been aggressive their whole career were passing up open shots, and might have listened to me too much and tried to be unselfish as far as that and passed up shots. So we told them to be aggressive even when you're missing. Dennis and some of those guys started moving in and passing up some shots. So we talked to them about that, especially at halftime, said, let it fly. This is what the preseason's for, get your legs. And when you have the open shot taken, so we know, like I said, we're not going to shoot 35% again, and look forward to the next game.
John Corrales.
A lot of guys, when they're coming off the floor, you pull them aside, they take a little extra time to talk to them. What kind of messages are you trying to convey in the midst of a game here, while also, it understands the first preseason game?
Yeah, to be aggressive and confident on the offensive end. Like I mentioned, they were passing up some open shots that they usually take. That was the one thing. And then defensively, the errors we were making, you're trying to teach them on the fly a little bit. I had my coaches talking to them on the bench, and some of the things that we weren't doing as well as we did in practice in the scrimmages, we were really hitting them with those points there. So we'll emphasize that, show them some film. And like I said, we have 3 or 4 practices before the next game to try and clean those areas up.
Gary Washburn.
Hey, this team kind of got in trouble over the last couple of years in terms of shooting threes, but then when they don't go down, the offense is kind of stagnant. What's your kind of philosophy on shooting threes? Is it if you're open, take it, or would you rather kind of reduce the number of threes as opposed to the last couple of years?
It's a little bit of both, give and take. We feel we have high-level shooters, and if they have the right look to take it. But to your point, felt like the first quarter we were just shooting all jump shots, nothing downhill, not getting to the basket. So we really tried to drop some plays, some ATOs or call plays to actually get these guys to get downhill. Orlando was really selling out with the shift, so they ended up kicking those, and we ended up getting more threes. But as long as it's the right shot, the uncontested, we talk about good to great, passing up a good shot to get your teammate a great shot. And so the looks were there. Like I said, I don't think we're going to shoot this poorly again, but at the same time, we don't want to just get into a jump shot shooting contest. We want to get downhill, get to the basket, and get to the free throw line.
Jared Weiss.
You had Jason operating out of the post, attacking mismatches, operating from the baseline. That's kind of newer parts of his game. I guess, how do you think he's looking doing that? And do you think he's kind of ready to do that in regular season action?
Yeah, we like him in a lot of spots. We worked on a few things, and we're starting to implement a few more sets to get him in those spots. But we felt he had a size advantage over their smaller wings, especially in the first quarter with their starting group. And so they're really crowding him on the perimeter, trying to take him off his spot. So we got him some easy looks out of timeouts, and I think that helped him get going somewhat in the second quarter. But it's something that he showed he can do. He's done it in practice and did it with USA this summer to some extent. So area he's working on, we talk about playing big boy ball down there, and then he got to the basket quite a few times, got some nice dunks and things of that nature. But we want him to be able to score from everywhere. We know he draws attention down there. He made some nice passes that led to open shots, and so he can be a facilitator as well as he did. We just didn't happen to hit the shots tonight.
Mark Murphy.
Rob seemed to be looking for his jumper tonight. Was that just the way things broke, or are you trying to bring that more out?
No, I think he may have settled for a few when he should have rolled a little bit more. They were in a pretty deep drop coverage, and so he was stopping in the mid lane. We've been working on his touch shot floaters and some of those, but and sometimes we even had to tell him, like Rob or like Al was doing, he was hitting and really getting out on a roll. We want him to do that, especially with him being such a good lob threat. So it's a mix. He showed he can make some, but we know where his bread is buttered, and him getting to the basket and causing that tension down there. So he can mix it sometimes, but we obviously want him to roll and be a threat down there more often.
A couple Zoom questions, Coach. First one is from Bobby Manning.
Sorry,
Hey, May, 2 questions. First, the atmosphere, your reaction to the atmosphere late in that game in the Garden here. And then second, Al Horford's first game back here looked pretty loose, got out in transition like you wanted him to. What was kind of your reaction to his performance here off the bench?
Well, the crowd was obviously great. The energy picked up in the fourth quarter. When we got back in it, we felt, ebbs and flows of the game. We got it to 5 points plenty of times and missed some shots, and then they would, get some offensive rebounds and things of that nature. But as soon as we got back in the game, the crowd picked up, and our bench was great supporting the young guys out there. So it was great to have that. You can obviously tell what the fans are going to be like in, opening night and when we have a real regular season game. So that was great. But Al has done what he's done all preseason since he came back in open gym. He looks great. He's a steady force for those guys out there. Very knowledgeable and can do a lot of things. So we know what we have with Al. We wanted to take a look at some other lineups, but like I said, don't read too much into who we start and who we're playing. We know what we have now with that group.
Next Zoom questions from Keith Smith.
Hey, Coach, with the bigs, so Al and Grant, there was a lot of them pushing the ball up themselves in transition. Is that something you guys have been working on and you really want to see to get the ball right up the floor and get into some early offense?
Yeah, we've been emphasizing, using those guys as threats. Feel it puts a tremendous amount of pressure on teams when our bigs can rebound and push it, and we can get some kick aheads with our guards and our wings attacking there. So it's something we've stressed, rebounded, and if you can push it, go. If you don't have a kick ahead, and then kind of initiate offense from the high post. So it's something he's comfortable with. You've seen guys on other teams that do it, and it puts stress on the defense. So they're good at it. Good decision makers can actually handle it, and so we're comfortable with them doing that.
Romeo hitting the game winner and his teammates very excited for
Yeah.
him. But what kind of confidence can that give a young player like that?
Oh, huge amount. To sit there, for 3 quarters and to come in and play the way he did in the fourth quarter is obviously good for him, good for the team, but it should give him a huge confidence boost. So he was able to hit some big shots late. He was extra aggressive, did some things well, and had a few back cuts on defense, but we'll clean those things up. It's just like I said, we're looking at different lineups, so he'll get more of a shot at another game than another guy might not. So we want to see him with the starting lineup with the second unit as well. And like I said, credit to him for staying ready and coming in the fourth quarter and hitting those big shots.
Wrap it up right there. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.